The crown is cracked. The kingdom is bleeding, and Dwight, the General Manfredi, is out of second chances. The cold Oklahoma wind doesn't just whistle through the streets of Tulsa, it carries a warning. A threat Dwight Manfredi can taste in the dust. His empire, built with blood and sheer force of will, is under attack from all sides. The FBI has turned the heat into an inferno, with Agent St. Beale closing in, convinced she has the final piece to put Dwight away for good. Her case is no longer built on whispers. It's built on a mountain of hard, cold evidence she believes is insurmountable. But the feds are the least of Dwight's problems. They play by rules. His other enemies do not. A new shadowy force has emerged from the Texas underworld, a coalition of modern outlaws who see Tulsa not as a city, but as a prize ripe for the taking. They are not old-school mafioso. They are tech-savvy, ruthless, and they don't respect the old ways. They see Dwight as a relic, a dinosaur waiting for the meteor to hit, and they are that meteor. Back at the makeshift headquarters of the growing Manfredi crime family, the tension is a physical presence, thicker than the cigar smoke. Dwight's inner circle is fracturing under the pressure. Mitch, his rock, his most trusted lieutenant, is starting to question the very foundation of their war. He sees the bodies piling up and the odds stacking higher, and for the first time, the word surrender hangs unspoken in the air between them. Armand, fueled by a lifetime of seeking his father's approval, is becoming dangerously unpredictable, his actions more reckless, his anger a spark near a gas line. He wants to meet force with apocalyptic force, a strategy that terrifies the more measured members of the crew. And Tyson, the man who bridged both worlds, finds the chasm between his old life and his new one has become a bottomless pit. Every move he makes for Dwight pushes him further from any chance of a normal future, from any hope of reconciling with his daughter. He is losing himself, and he knows it. The foundation of Dwight's new kingdom, built on a handshake and ambition, is crumbling from within, just as the walls start closing in from the outside. The general must make impossible choices, and every single one of them will cost him a piece of his soul or the life of someone he calls family. The first blow lands not with a bang, but with a chilling silence. One of Dwight's key distribution points goes dark. No calls, no messages, just empty air where there should be constant traffic. This isn't a random hit. It's a surgical strike designed to cripple his cash flow and send a clear, terrifying message. They are inside his operation. They know his people, his routes, his weaknesses. Paranoia becomes the new currency, and everyone is rich with it. Trust, the commodity Dwight valued above all else, is now a luxury he can no longer afford. He looks at his crew, at Mitch's weary eyes and Armand's twitching fury, and wonders which one of them might break, which one might have already broken. The Texas syndicate, led by the enigmatic and brutally pragmatic Carter Vale, makes its presence known not with a declaration of war, but with a simple, devastating financial maneuver. They flood Tulsa's streets with a purer, cheaper product, undercutting Dwight's entire operation. It's an economic siege, and overnight, Dwight's loyal soldiers start looking at the bottom line, wondering if their allegiance is worth bankruptcy or a bullet. Agent St. Biel, sensing the blood in the water, turns the screw tighter. She presents Tyson with an ultimatum that is no choice at all. Wear a wire and bring her Dwight Manfredi on a federal racketeering charge, or watch his daughter's future evaporate under the glare of his association. Tyson is trapped in a cage of his own making, and the key is a betrayal that would shatter the only real family he has left. As the financial noose tightens, Dwight is forced to make a move that goes against every instinct he possesses. He must reach out to the fractured, forgotten remnants of the New York family he once served and was subsequently exiled by. The call to his old capo is a study in swallowed pride, a desperate plea for a temporary alliance, for reinforcements. The answer is a cold, mocking laugh, followed by a demand for a king's ransom and a majority stake in the Tulsa territory. The message is clear. New York would rather see him fall and pick the bones than see him succeed. He is truly alone. Back in Tulsa, Armand, pushed to the edge by his father's perceived inaction, decides to take matters into his own hands. Without Dwight's knowledge, he orchestrates a retaliatory strike on one of Vale's transport trucks, a move he believes will show strength and restore their dominance. But it's a catastrophic miscalculation. Armand walks right into a trap, a beautifully laid ambush designed to provoke exactly this kind of emotional response. The resulting firefight is a slaughter, leaving two of their best young soldiers dead on the asphalt, and Armand missing, taken hostage. The message from Carter Vale arrives minutes later. Not a demand for ransom, but a simple, terrifying question. How much is your son's life worth to you, General? We'll find out soon. The kidnapping of Armand ignites a fire in Dwight that even he thought had been extinguished. This is no longer a business dispute. It is a primal war for blood. The careful, strategic general is gone, replaced by a father capable of anything. He gathers every weapon, every loyal soldier, and prepares for a storm of vengeance that will likely burn his entire empire to the ground. Mitch, seeing the abyss ahead, makes one last, desperate attempt to reason with him, to find a smarter, safer way. But Dwight is beyond reason. They didn't take a soldier, Mitch, he growls, his voice low and deadly. They took my son. Meanwhile, trapped in a darkened warehouse, Armand is forced to confront the brutal reality of the life he so desperately wanted. His captor, one of Vale's lieutenants, isn't interested in torture. He's interested in education. He lays out in chilling detail how Dwight's old-world thinking has made him vulnerable, how his sentimentality is a cancer. He offers Armand a choice: die for a fading king or switch his allegiance and help build the future. It's a seductive, poisonous argument that finds fertile ground in Armand's long-nursed resentments. At the same time, driven by St. Bill's threats and his own crumbling conscience, Tyson makes a decision. He activates the wire, his heart pounding like a drum of treason. He seeks out Dwight, ready to betray him to save what's left of his own soul and family, not knowing that Dwight is already marching into a war zone, his mind focused on a single, bloody objective: get his son back. The stage is set for a confrontation that will redefine the criminal landscape of Tulsa forever. Dwight's war party, a small but hardened force, converges on the location given by Vale, a derelict meatpacking plant on the city's outskirts. It's an obvious trap, and Dwight knows it, but he no longer cares. The only thing that matters is the rescue. As they breach the facility, a symphony of chaos erupts. Gunfire echoes of rusted metal, and loyalties are tested in the sparks of muzzle flashes. It is in this crucible of violence that the final, shocking betrayal is revealed. But it does not come from Tyson, who, at the last possible second, rips the wire from his chest and charges into the fray to fight alongside Dwight, choosing his new family over his freedom. The betrayal comes from within Vale's own ranks. As Dwight and his men fight for their lives, a figure emerges from the shadows. A ghost from Dwight's past, whose alliance with Vale was merely a long-game strategy to get close enough to destroy Dwight Manfredi themselves. The identity of this mastermind will shake Dwight to his very core, revealing that his greatest enemy was never in Texas, but has been hiding in plain sight all along. The season's epic battle is not just for a city, but for a soul, as Dwight Manfredi is forced to confront the devastating cost of his legacy and the shocking truth that the king he should have feared most was the one he never saw coming.